Israeli police have raided two branches of Palestinian-owned bookshops in occupied East Jerusalem and arrested the owners on suspicion, they said, of violating public order. They cited a children's colouring book as evidence of incitement to terrorism. Any publication with the Palestinian flag or any Palestinian icon was seized for examination. A clear attack, rights groups say, on Palestinian cultural identity. The arrests were of two people who were well known and have diplomatic connections in Israel. Antonia Kerrigan tells us more.
Run by Mahmoud and Ahmad Muna, the educational bookshops had become hubs in East Jerusalem's cultural and intellectual scene. And on Sunday, the shops were raided. Police confiscated a number of books and arrested the two owners on suspicion of selling texts containing, quote, incitement and support of terrorism.
Yesterday when we had been sitting here and we saw two cars, police with civilian, and they came, attacked the two library shops. One for English books and the other one is for Arab books.
The shops sell literature on the Middle East, on the conflict between Israel and Palestine, and reflections on peace in the region, including many titles by Israeli and Jewish authors. The brother of one of the owners said police were using Google Translate to identify which of the Arabic titles to confiscate.
They took the books which have the Palestinian flags. This was the title. They saw on the Haaretz newspaper, they saw the head article there, and they said, oh, you sell dangerous things.
The two men's charges have since been downgraded to disturbing public order. Their arraignment hearing on Monday attracted a protest outside the courtroom. And on the inside, diplomatic representatives of the UK, France, the EU and Brazil, among others, attended the hearing. The German ambassador to Israel took to X in support of the shop's owners.
I know its owners, the Munna family, to be peace-loving, proud Palestinian Jerusalemites, open for discussion and intellectual exchange. The Munna family.
At their arraignment on Monday, the court authorised the police to hold them one more day rather than the 8 days they requested.
We can speak now to Arab-Israeli lawmaker representing the left-wing Democratic Front for Peace and Equality in the Knesset, Ms. Aida Touma-Suleiman. Thanks so much for joining us here on France 24. Can I ask you, firstly, your reaction to that raid on the Palestinian-owned bookshops in Jerusalem? What do you think prompted that?
Good morning. First, thank you for having me. I think that this is part of the different repression actions that has been taken action in the last year and 3 months by this government and its agencies, the Israeli government. This time it's becoming like a peak, attacking a bookstore because of selling books that are published legally, that are owned legally, that are brought to the country through the ports and the taxes and everything is covered. I think it's becoming a kind of an attack on any symbol of a Palestinian identity or a sign of a Palestinian identity. It doesn't matter which kind of people are having this sign of identity. If they are calling for peaceful preservation of their identity or whatsoever.
Is this bookshop raid, part of a wider problem? Have there been other instances of this in Jerusalem and the wider area?
Well, there are different actions taken in Jerusalem. Whenever there is an activity, the army, if it is a cultural activity or even a kind of political gathering, the army and the police raid the place, give orders not to hold any meeting or cultural activity. And this is not new, but this time it's over any understanding to raid a bookstore and to call the people who are selling books, the huge felony that they are doing is selling books. This is gets us to think about, the Middle East, the Mid Ages, when they used to burn people and books because of the ideas they have.
Indeed, it does sound like a whole new level. Now, I know when the war with Gaza broke out, you did try to organise anti-war protests, and it wasn't just Arab Israelis that were taking part in those protests. I was interested to know the reaction to those. I believe there was quite a crackdown on them, and want to know, do you feel there's a significant percentage of the Israeli people from all walks of life that are anti the war?
Well, it's not only in the beginning of the war. Till 2 weeks ago, we tried to organize another demonstration in one of the Arab towns, and we were forbidden by an order of the police. The police is not allowing any political gathering or demonstration in our villages and towns that are relating to or are anti-war actions. Even showing a movie, we were forbidden to do it. A movie by the producer Muhammad Bakri. They did not allow it. They gave an order to close down the building where this movie should have been seen. They screened. This situation, I mean, that's true that most of the people in Israel nowadays are understand that in order to bring the hostages, the captives back home, they need to stop the war. But you have to be also to understand that some of those who are calling now for ceasefire in order to get the hostages do not mind that the war continues after the Israeli hostages are home. We, on the other side, we are against the war as a principle. We do not accept the fact that there is no way to have any solution to this situation except a political negotiated solution that is accepted by two parts. For our regret, we have been witnessing in the last 2 weeks what the United States of America president has been saying, and what he has said yesterday about the hostages and giving orders, otherwise he will start hell in the region, is not helping in any way. This is the least that we can say. He is acting as if he is he is acting in a very, let's say, imperialist way. He thinks he owns the region. He is able to compensate Netanyahu on behalf of the Palestinian people. And it is terrible. Netanyahu has been leading not only the Palestinian people to a disaster, but mainly the Israeli people into disaster. And instead of being part of negotiated solution, Trump is only pushing for more and more disasters.
Ms. Aida Touma-Suleiman, I'm being told we'll have to leave it there. We're out of time, but thank you so much for joining us and giving us your view of the situation. Very much appreciated.
Thank you.